Welcome back. It's time for Alive versus Life.
Yep.
Two very similar names with two very different players.
One Zerg, one Terran, one with a team, the other one without one.
Yes. And one... I don't know. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah. Like one of them likes chocolate, one of them likes vanilla. I couldn't tell you which, but I bet one of them likes chocolate more than the other one. I'd bet that.
What is your favorite flavor?
Chocolate.
I really like vanilla.
That's what makes us a great commentator combo. I mean, despite our great synergy and the ability to tell jokes to each other and have personal anecdotes, I know. Do you like olives?
That is the weird part. It depends. Usually I don't like olives. Sometimes I can eat them. Depends if I have like cheese and wine, then it's fine.
Actually, I'm like the same except a little bit different. Like I don't like them with cheese, but if I like on a pizza, I can handle it. So I guess we're both. I was gonna say if we both liked or hated it, it would be bad. But I guess if we both kind of like it, that cancels it out.
Okay. Do you like? This is the most important thing. Do you like marzipan?
I don't know what that is.
I hope that's
when
you pronounce it in English.
When you say marzipan, that makes me think of Homestar Runner, which I don't know if you know what that is, but that's all I know, man.
I have to look it up. I'm actually, that might have a different. I think that's the name.
I've heard this name before, but I don't know what it is.
The name in English is the same, but I might be mistaken. I actually never. That's one of those words that you never use. But
well, it's a character in a cartoon series that's online. Is marzipan, but
no,
anyways,
that's something to eat.
Alive versus Life. Teamless versus one of the most successful ESF teams, one of the most, well, let's just be honest, the most successful player of 2012.
Yeah, it's actually called marzipan. How do you not know that?
Well, you're using LEO for this. But I don't know what it is, though. Almond paste?
How can you not know what that is? Marzipan. That stuff is awesome.
I don't know, but I mean, I like Nutella.
That has nothing to do with it.
Well, let's go into this match. Cloud Kingdom, Alive versus Life. This is not going to be easy for the teamless Terran. In fact, I feel he's going to have to do some sort of crazy all-ins or weird timings, otherwise he has no chance.
I wouldn't be surprised to see an Ice Network here at some point from Live, to be honest with you. But whatever it's going to be, we are going to find out. We are going live with a Live versus Live here at the GSL Code A, the third round. Alive was able to take out Nestea in the last round. Can he deal with Life? To the top right of the map, we have the Terran player in blue. He's, of course,
Alive. By the way, you're talking about songs. The song that they played before that, this game started, is my favorite song, the bridge song. I don't know what it's called, but I'll find out. I just want to mention that. But to the bottom left, Team Startail player, he is...
Team Life.
Rivaled only by his former teammate Parting, the most successful player in 2012.
Yeah. Life is a beast.
Yeah.
I mean, we know that Life is good. Life is also what happens while you're making other plans. But he's also really good at StarCraft.
Well, life's not fair, man, but sometimes
we all know that.
Sometimes you roll him. That's life, dude. Well, Alive with a Makarax, which is what he is also known for, makes it at his natural, and no second barracks is placed.
So Life really likes to do this, especially against Protoss, but we also see him do it against Zerg, and now he's up versus Life, so this is definitely going to be a strong opponent to face, a very tough match for Alive. But if he can defeat Life here, then he will advance to Code S, and that's exactly where he wants to be. We had him play this little bit weird game against Nestea, especially the Whirlwind match was quite interesting to observe. Yeah. Nestea in the end lost the series, and now Alive is here in the third round.
Yeah, and he hides his SCV until the last second, so if Life had sent a drone scout, he would not know the timing of the SCV and might start to panic without seeing the barracks, but it's not the case. Now Alive will see Life's gas, sees the pool coming down here as well. And the barracks will be moved. He could try to spot and kill his Overlord using the barracks, but he doesn't do it.
By the way, quick off-topic question, since we just established that you don't even know what marzipan is.
Yeah.
Do you know what licorice is?
Yes.
Do you like it?
No.
Okay, I don't like it either. Then you will probably love marzipan.
Okay.
People told me that most people out there, and this is apparently true for like 95% of the people you talk to, will either like licorice or marzipan. So if you don't like licorice, there is a really good chance that you like marzipan.
Okay.
You are weird, so you might not, because, well, you don't like fruit, you don't like ice cream.
I'm not a dessert guy usually, but I do like brownies and cookies.
Yeah, so that might actually work out for you.
I only like medium length walks on the beach, though. I'm very specific about this.
Next time I'm in Europe, I will bring you some marzipan. I don't know if they have that in Korea.
Okay. I will definitely try it. I won't refuse.
Alright, right now what we have in the game, we have still the command center on the high ground being built. Speed is here for Life, where it's just being researched, whereas Alive is now starting with his factory. Will get his tech up and is still trying to look for a few overlords. I love his overlord hunting here, very meticulous about it, trying to get an early lead in the game.
Yeah, you will see these links effect with the watchtower. Very odd case for Alive to not be spotted on the watchtower. Life did not see him. We have double factory going down, so probably blue flame.
Yeah, very likely that we're going to see a blue flame build.
And the Lings will see virtually nothing. He's going to see the factory, which is what he would normally see anyways, but he doesn't see the second one.
Exactly. You see what you would expect here. You see one factory, you see the reactor, so you're like, yep, you're going to lead with Hellions.
I'm going to check and see if he saw the command center. And he did not. He barely missed it.
But with the timing, he knows.
Yeah.
I mean, there is no other way that you have exactly this timing than if you have a command center somewhere in the base.
Yes. And he's making a decent amount of links here, 10 of them out. He wants to keep that command center in the air as long as possible. Oh! The bunker will finish.
Yeah, the bunker will finish,
Well, you know
but
what?
the Marines might
may
be gone.
dead before then. And he blocks him out.
One is in there. The SCV is trying to get into the bunker, but it's a little bit too late, so the SCV is dead. So are Alive's Marines, all but one.
Just look at the supply here. Alive at 31 supply, not been able to really power up and use those Hellions just yet because, well, he hasn't used his command center yet.
You know, Life is now going for this expansion, and yes, he's adding extra queens. He's already at 4, he's going into the 5th, but he has speed, and this blue flame attack could do so much damage, especially if Life is able to get his base saturated, third base that is, then those Hellions could really, really hurt him. There is no attempt to set up a wall or anything.
Yeah. Lings are going to accumulate here. He's not making any further, though. He starts drones. And Alive really needs to do some sort of damage with this tech that he's committed to, because he does not have the ability to drop or clear up creep tumors otherwise. He needs to do something with these Hellions. And so far, with the extra queen, like you said, up to 5, and the wall, I just don't see him doing a whole lot with these Hellions. And Lings run by again to the natural.
Now we have the wall set up, and if Life really pays attention to the minimap, he will see that Alive is getting those blue flame Hellions. He actually gets into the main base, and now he sees there is not going to be any element of surprise for Alive anymore. Life is in the know now. He has those queens ready to block.
Gets a Roach Warren as well, expecting a mech transition. We do see the armory on the way, so that's likely going to be the case.
Alive wants to prove that he is larger than Life by attacking Startail Life, but this is not going to work out well. The queens are there, the Spinecrawler is ready, and if not for a massive blunder of Life, Alive has no chance of getting into the main base anymore.
Yep. And he won't be able to mine from that third for a little while, but he kills the larva. That's always a nice little subtle touch, killing the larva there. That's all he can really do. He starts the third command center. He's going to need that 3-base economy to start siege tank production with Hellions off of multiple additional factories, which he has not added yet. And he has to be careful about Mutas as well, because he doesn't have a lot of anti-air here, and Life could go straight into Mutas. He decides to go Roaches for now.
Life is in a very good position. Yes, he's up against the third command center very soon, and Alive is trying to hit this mech composition now that his blue flame Hellions didn't work out, adding another factory. But the creep spread is already decent for Life, and he is doing a great job here. He's probably going to lose those queens, but still, he should be fine in general.
Yeah. Queen going down here. The Roaches, in fact, are not even going to be enough. He needs to just make sure he puts them in between the wall. There he goes. 4 more Roaches on the way. Overlord drops. That's going to be very useful against the very low siege tank count.
Yeah, he can really go for this timing. The only thing that surprises me a little bit is that we have the melee upgrade and not the range upgrade. So if he really wants to go now for a melee composition and even a roach drop, it would have been better to start the range upgrade and not the melee upgrade. If you go into the Broodlords later, it's of course a bit of a different story, but it looks like Life wants to end this a bit faster.
Yeah. You know, you can just see how efficient Roaches are at dealing with Hellions if they're not clumped up by watching this. There's so many more Hellions than there are Roaches, but they just can't quite fight the Roaches. If they were all clumped in one group, it would have been a different story, or if they were Hellbats, but that's for a few weeks later. Now, the Roach speed, Overlord drops, and the Overlord speed are all going to line up basically perfectly with each other here, and he's going to be able to do a decent amount of damage depending on whether this is scouted or not.
Siege mode is done though. This is one of the things that is really important to note here. We don't have too many siege tanks. 2, there will be a 3rd one, but it's not like he has a massive amount in his main base where he can set up a defense. So the Overlords have not been spotted just yet. The 3rd base will most likely be the first victim of Life's pressure play.
Oh yeah, in fact he's landing it right now.
Uh-oh, those siege tanks were a little bit misled. I think those siege tanks drivers were getting an extra bottle of vodka yesterday.
Yeah.
Those guys did not know where to go.
Do you feel the siege tanks drivers look like they're from somewhere like Russia or Ukraine? I could see that actually.
Well, I could see that happening, but I feel you always have one Russian siege tank driver.
Oh, this is a big deal. He actually loses a lot of drones. That means this attack is even much more important. There's not a lot of siege tanks here. There's only 3, and they're spread.
Bye tanks. Oh god, those tanks on the low ground are dead since all the Hellions are going into the main base. He doesn't have anything to defend here. Now he's dropping onto the last 2 tanks. This time we have enough Hellions here to defend them, but already a lot of damage done by Life, and Alive is in trouble.
He's just continuing to elevator them in here. So many SCVs are going down. The tank's not really able to deal here with the Roach firepower without the SCVs. And the SCVs are repairing. They're not mining. Thor comes out here. It's going to be fairly useful.
Thor is here.
This is just not... He will hold this, but he's just losing way too much.
Well, but at least he's able to push the Roaches back now with all those SCVs repairing not only the tanks, but also
this is
the
a weird drop.
He can actually do that. The one thing that surprised me is that Alive never raised his supply depots when he saw the second wave coming in. The natural, that's the bigger story. This is a lot of damage done to the economy of Alive.
Yeah. And Life, I think, just kind of needs to back up for a minute here and try to fight away from the siege tanks, try to kill a few more SCVs maybe, and then get out. He does not want to trade against the siege tanks anymore. It's just not becoming efficient. At Thor, a little bit low on hit points. He actually drops into the main now, trying to trade against the Hellions. He wants to get these 2 tanks on the high ground. That's the most important part.
This time he will get them. There are no SCVs anymore to repair them. A lot of SCVs lost already. 33 in total have been killed by Life, who advances into the main base now to take down even more Harvesters. And this is just crazy. Alive is under so much pressure.
Yeah. That is it. Boom, the rest of the Roaches are gone, but Life has a decent supply advantage over his opponent. The worker count is 67 to 30, so he, over the next few moments, will have a much better economy. The economy is going to kick in. He already has the economy. 4 Hellions, though, going into the 3rd base right now.
And this is going to be dangerous since so many workers are all clumped up there. Not a lot of defense, but nice micro by Life.
Yeah,
great control
really well done. So many of those Hellions, or some of those drones almost killed.
He lost 4. In this battle, he only lost 4. 13 in total, but only 4 lost in the last engagement, and that was really something. Alive is now down 40 supply, and Life has still Overlords everywhere. There's just no Antia in the main base of his opponent.
This actually makes it so much more annoying for him to even make supply depots eventually.
Look at this creep spread. The entire base is just now spread with creep, and Life is making fun of Alive a little bit here.
Yeah. This is not a good trade with the Lings, but now the Roaches come in. He's killed all the SCVs at the 3rd base. The base is basically useless to Alive right now, and he's going to go in and kill even more at the natural.
There's going to be 15 Mutalisk in a few seconds. Probably even more. And there's not a single anti-air unit for Alive.
Yeah, not even one. He has no Thors.
This is Life dropping the hammer. He just needs the lava, and there it is. Bam, 17 Mutalisks at once. As soon as Alive sees those, I feel he's going to hit the BG button.
Yeah.
Eject, and
there are a few Hellions left to try to harass, but there are Queens, there are Spines, and even if he kills drones, he still has no answer for the Mutas. He just doesn't know about them, and he doesn't have any Thors on production. If he knew, look at that little cute pickup on the Overlord. If he knew about them, he would try to start a Thor, but he doesn't have the economy to produce very many of them.
He can't even build missile turrets in his main base because the creep spread is everywhere.
This is why he's making this creep, I feel. You know, he can't make depots, he can't make turrets there.
Well, this is just game.
Yeah, is this life or is this death, man? That's what Alive is trying to figure out as he sees these mutas
from life.
From life.
And it's actually life.
Yes, it's not actually death.
You know, it's death for life, but for life, everything is going well.
Yeah, his life went as planned here.
And Alive is pulling a little bit of an MKP here.
Yeah, this is just, I mean, this is impossible.
Yeah, at this point it's really possible. If you have no anti-air
He tries
whatsoever,
to go for the Hellion run by, but it doesn't work. GG. Really calculated play by Life. And Alive just finds himself now in a situation where he didn't have the information about the drop, he didn't have the information about the mutas.
even after the drop, I was already surprised that Alive was able to stay alive for this long when Alive dropped all those roaches on Alive siege tanks. I mean, he tried to really repair with the SCVs, but once they had to help out at the natural, the two in the main base just didn't stand a chance anymore.
Yeah. Well, game number 2 coming up on Icarus, a timing attack-oriented map. The question becomes, going into game 2, which one of these players, if not both of them, goes for a timing? Because that's just generally what we see on this map. It's really difficult to take a third. The third is so far away, and you have those gold mineral gold mineral patches in your backdoor expansion, which you can get for free. How do you use those?
You know, Hex stated that he is really afraid facing Zerg after he had trained with Life for a long time, and I can see why. If you face such a scary player, it's really the question, what do you do? A timing attack might be an option, but I feel that, I don't know, I feel if you want to go up against Life, you have to be so good in the macro game that you can just out-macro him, and this is like one of the hardest things in StarCraft 2.
There was a very thin line in game number 1 with Alive siege tanks being repaired. He almost held it off, but it just was not enough. Too many SCVs lost. Let's go into game number 2. It could be his final game, depending on how the outcome comes here. Will it be Alive, or will it be Life? Advancing to Codas, skipping the up and downs. Let's find out right now here at the GSL Code A, round 3 cast fight, Outer Rim Wolf.